Hello, my name is Scott Taylor. I'm with Fisoft, and today I'm going to be taking a few minutes of your time to quickly walk through a brief high-level overview of our new QuickBooks Online integration. We call it the Fisoft Business Portal. It's a cloud-based solution that's designed to enable you to seamlessly integrate with your QuickBooks Online file, yet have the flexibility to choose your own credit card processor. Let's begin with just a quick background about Fisoft. Our company specializes in QuickBooks integration. The only focus we have is QuickBooks products and QuickBooks service. And based on the feedback we've gotten from a lot of our QuickBooks clientele, we've decided to develop a new QuickBooks Online solution. And of course, you can reach us if you have questions or would like additional information, you can visit us on the web at www.fisoft.com. or you can simply contact us at 281-401-8103. Well, let's get started. So here's QuickBooks Online, and let me go ahead and we'll jump to the home page. I'm sure most everybody here can recognize this. We have a sample toy company that we refer to as Lone Star Toys, and we're going to begin with a very basic transaction. So I'm simply going to log into the customer area. I'm going to follow the normal QuickBooks Online workflow that I would typically use. I'll create an invoice. I'll put in my quantity, and then I'm going to save my invoice. Now, one of the nice things about our software is it has an automatic integration with QuickBooks Online, and this is actually a two-way sync. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring up the browser tab with our portal on it. Now, for the sake of our time on our demo today, what I'm going to do is go ahead and actually manually sync the data so we don't have to wait. The system itself is actually set up to sync every 5 minutes. But again, just for the purposes of time today, I'm going to go ahead and sync the software manually. Once that sync has been completed, I'm going to go ahead and go back to our dashboard. Now, the dashboard view is where I typically like to work from the most, simply because it's a really easy to operate screen. It provides a lot of useful information. You can see your open invoices. You can see your payment data in graphical form. Then you've got the detail down beneath here. We have the ability within our software to actually drill down. So as you can see, the invoice has already been synced over automatically. I'm going to go ahead and click on the invoice itself. This will bring up an itemized view of the invoice. So with this particular screen up, I can actually modify the invoice. I can change or remove quantities, add new line items. But in this case, since we're ready to go, I'm actually going to go ahead and just receive a payment. Now, this will take us to the receive payment screen, and we have the ability to actually receive payments on multiple invoices all at one time. So if Jerry had multiple invoices here, we can actually process those all at one time. We also have the ability to choose from multiple types of payments. So we have, of course, PayGuard, which is the technology that our company is very well known for. What it does is it allows us to provide the ability to merchants to process credit card transactions without having to re-enter or store live credit card data, so it's a very secure form of payment. We also have the ability, of course, to process the traditional credit card through a manual entry of credit card data, and of course we also support e-checks or an ACH account. Now, the e-check does require a separate account to be set up with our company, but if your office is interested in that, let us know and we can certainly walk you through that process. I'm going to go ahead and we're simply going to begin with a manual entry, so I'm going to choose that as my form of payment. I'm going to click the Process Payment button, and that's going to take us to a secure payment form. Now, in this case, obviously, because we are on a demo, the account is labeled as our demo account. In your scenario, it will actually have your company's name running across the top here. The other thing that's really nice about this payment form is that this is what I would refer to as a long payment form. As you can see, there's quite a bit of information that's available here. This form is fully customizable. So in your particular business, you may not need to have billing and shipping information. So this form can actually be easily modified where you can pull out all the information that you don't want your customers to fill out. And you could just go back with something as I would refer to as a short form, which are just basically the credit card data itself and nothing else. So I'm going to go ahead and just fill that in. So let's go ahead and we're going to select our customer here. I'm going to select the address, zip, and we'll put in a credit card number, of course our expiration, and our security code. Once that information is put in, I'm simply going to click Process Payment. And what will happen is the transaction's been sent out and you're going to be brought back to the payments result page. So you'll get a clear indication of whether or not the payment was processed successfully or not. You also have the ability to print this page off if you would like to have a hard copy record. Now that we've actually processed the payment, again, just for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose to manually sync rather than waiting for the system to auto sync. So I'm going to click the sync button here. And once that sync has been completed, if I go back to the dashboard, of course, you'll see that the information is gone, and we now have some transactional information updated. But more importantly, let's go ahead and take a look over here at QuickBooks Online. So I'm simply going to refresh this page just a little bit. If we go back and we look at Jerry, we'll see that he no longer has an outstanding balance. And if we drill down into his transactional records, let's take a look at those. We can see that the invoice that was created has been correctly updated and marked as paid. And we have also created a payment receipt inside QuickBooks Online for that payment. So that's the first type of transaction that we can do. And again, that was just a basic invoice. And we did that within QuickBooks Online. The system will auto sync it over to our portal, and you can modify or process payment within the portal. However, we do have some other options for the ways that you can create and process transactions. Many merchants may choose to simply not use their QuickBooks Online file. Instead, they can actually go ahead and log in directly to our software. And we have the ability to create invoices right within our software. So we do that by simply clicking on the Customer Center. Our software will read the customer list and we'll be presented with a list right here. So we can simply go ahead and select our customer, and we're going to choose New Invoice. We'll be presented again with a detailed line item invoice that we can select actual line items right from within QuickBooks Online. So if we go over and let's select a toy soldier, and we're going to purchase a few of those. We're going to go ahead and add those in. And then, of course, we can even apply sales tax. So again, our software will read the sales tax groupings from QuickBooks Online, and we can apply those here. We're going to go ahead and save it. And this is actually going to take us back to the long form view of our invoices. So this will give us a itemized view of our invoices. I want you to notice right here we have a convenient feature. It's an email button. So our software does have the ability to email invoices with a payment link directly to your customers. You can access that feature either from this view, or again, we can actually come back to the dashboard view. And here again, you can see the invoice, and we have the email button available here. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to process this transaction by emailing it to our customer. So I'm simply going to click the email button. We'll get a confirmation showing us where it's been emailed to. And then we're going to go ahead, and I've got a sample email account here for our customer, Jerry Lewis. So what I'm going to present to you now, this is the view that your customer is actually going to see. So here's the email. I'm going to go ahead and click on that to open it up. And this is what we're going to see. It's going to be a summary view to begin with. It's going to reference the invoice number and the amount. The form will be branded with your company name and logo. And of course, if the merchant wants to view and pay the invoice, there's a clear link here that they can simply click on. And this is going to take us to a more detailed view. So this view is actually an itemized view, so it will, by line item, it'll list the individual items that are shown, the quantities, the price, tax, all the pertinent information that your customer would need to determine whether or not they're ready to pay the invoice. Once they've reached that stage, we're simply going to go ahead and click Pay Invoice. And here again, we are presented with a variety of methods that the customer can choose from. So we have previously done a manual credit card entry where we've typed in credit card information. That option is certainly available. But let's actually explore PayGuard on this particular customer. So again, just as a refresher, PayGuard is a secure form of processing payment transactions without forcing your customer to manually re-enter or store live credit card data. Very simple option to use. We would simply click on it, And we're going to go ahead and click Pay Now, and the customer is going to be presented with a list of secure payment accounts that they can use to process this payment. These accounts are all accounts that have been used in previous transactions. So we're simply going to select the one that we want to use. We'll click Charge. And when your customer does this, they're actually going to be presented with a new page, and it's going to be a payment confirmation page. So we want to give them a clear indication that, hey, the transaction has gone through successfully. If you'll notice that it is branded with your company's name and logo again. The customer also has the ability to print off a receipt if they want a hard copy receipt of this. Now, once that payment has been made, if we go back into the email, the customer is going to get a second email. So they're actually going to get a confirmation beyond what they received when they processed the payment. They'll get an email that's confirming what they paid, the invoice number and the amount. Once again, this is branded with your company's name and logo. I'm going to go ahead and go back into our portal, and we're going to actually sync this data once again, so we don't have to wait for the auto sync to occur. So now that sync has been completed, if we go back, we'll see that open invoice is no longer there. And of course here we show that we've received the payment. But let's go back again one more time into QuickBooks Online. So if we go back, and I'm actually going to just refresh this screen just a little bit. I'm going to go back to Jerry. You'll notice that again there's no outstanding invoice. But I'm going to click, and let's go down into the actual details. So here again, you'll see that the invoice that we created in our business portal, I'm going to go ahead and click on that, has been automatically created and brought over into QuickBooks Online. It has also been correctly updated as paid within QuickBooks Online. There has also been a payment receipt that's been created automatically. So here again, all the QuickBooks Online accounting records have been automatically updated for you simply by creating and processing transactions in our portal. So why this is important is that a lot of times businesses may or may not want to allow employees to have direct access to their QuickBooks Online file. So this is a great way to actually allow staff members at your company to have the ability to create and process payments without giving them direct access to QuickBooks Online. Beyond the basic payment processing, there's some administrative items that may also be of interest to you when you're looking at our solution. One of the first things that I want to point out is that, again, it is a two-way sync. It is an automatic sync. There's nothing that you have to do. You don't have to download or import anything. And when it comes to the actual setup and installation and integration with your QuickBooks Online file, we actually take care of that for you. So what we'll do is we'll ask you to log into your QuickBooks Online file a couple of times, but beyond that, we take care of everything else. We'll get everything set up, and we'll actually run a test transaction with you so that you're clear on the process. We also provide free training on our software. So if at any time you have questions about how to utilize our software, you can certainly give us a call, and we're happy to help with those types of questions. In closing, if you'd like to have a more detailed demonstration of the software with the full range of capabilities, please feel free to contact us directly. You can reach us on the web at fisoft.com, or you can certainly contact us at 281-401-8103, and we'd be happy to answer any additional questions you might have, or once again, if you want a more detailed presentation that covers the full range of the FiSoft Business Portal functionality, we'd be happy to set that up with you. Thank you again so much for your time today, and we look forward to hearing from you.